That sounds good. Yeah, I'll wait for him. So we're recording, as everything has to go, episode 5. I am Dan. I'm not going to have a nickname because nobody has anything to point at me, and I didn't think of anything clever from last time. And who else do we have?
Also Dan. Got Dan Squared and J-Boy here.
Yeah, that's it. J-Boy. Special guest Jackson. He's a good boy.
He's a great boy.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him, though. He got a hold of one rat pellet when I was cleaning out the garage, which is way overdue. And he's been having runny shits for a while.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a good boy, like, no matter how long I keep him in the house, he won't use the bathroom, you know. But he's had a couple of wet, loose ones that he cannot hold. And I got to keep an eye on him for sure.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, you look pretty happy right now, though. Hopefully you're feeling all right.
Just having old dog struggles.
Yeah. I mean, that's the curse of being a mover. Is it's 8 o'clock right now, and all our friends are gone. That's why it's kind of a slim one. But today we're probably going to do a little shorter here. We're going to do some moving lingo and moving tips here. To start off with, I'm going to walk you through how to get a couch through a door. To start out with, if you just have a couch sitting how it is, we call it rotating to the nose when we pick it up. So we pick it up and we turn the back kind of towards where you would put your feet. You kind of give it a rotation. And that's the number one way to fit through doors, because couches are usually too wide or too tall, because nobody designs furniture to go into houses.
That is correct.
And what you could do with the couch is you could kind of get it in that angle and then tuck one of the arms in, hook it through the door jamb, and then you can go straight through it, and then the second guy can kind of hook his way out. I'm visualizing this as I'm saying it, just so I don't know, Rao, you got anything to add on that?
That's a pretty good one. If the legs come off, that's a good start. A lot of the times, people love America's Furniture Warehouse, IKEA stuff, which is the bane of my existence for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime I see the Luvog IKEA, I die a little on the inside. But if the legs can come off, that can save you a lot of trouble. If they don't have to, that'll also save a lot of trouble.
I guess another kind of, associated with moving couches and big chairs and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know the backs of recliners typically come off.
It blows their goddamn minds.
Yeah, you show up somewhere and you do that, and someone's just like, I didn't know that. How long have you had this couch here? I don't know, 6 years?
6 going on 20.
Even this big-ass sectional that we're sitting on right now, all the backs of this thing come off, and there's usually little tabs under the bottom. You can tell pretty quick if you go to the back of your chair, and if there's some Velcro kind of holding the finish or the whatever material onto the bottom, you could probably peel that Velcro off, and you can find some little tabs that'll help you pop it off. And by the way, clean the popcorn out from your damn chairs. So that's just a side note.
It's unavoidable if you have kids. You're going to find gushers, hotbox wheel cars, you name it. Goldfish. But
Cheerios.
Yeah. You imagine shaking out a couch, and it's going to have just about everything you can think of edible food-wise.
You find out real quick if people have a cat, too.
Very quick.
Because there's all the cat toys under every piece of furniture.
When you got back from that long haul, we could not find Lulu. Lulu was holding it down here while you were on the road, out and about, and sure enough, she was inside of the couch.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. She spent like the day here or something, because, yeah. It's a good thing she likes Jake. She has someone else she likes.
We all like Jake.
Yeah. For whatever reason, we all like Jake.
Fridges would be a good go-to.
Fridge, yeah. You want to start fridge?
Yeah, for us as a company, we will move stainless steel fridges, but they're super delicate. They scratch if you breathe on them wrong. They dent super easily. That brushed aluminum, it's a good look though, the aesthetics there, but they hardly ever fit through a door, even if it's ADA compliant. The customers usually buy it, and someone from Best Buy, or I don't even know this stuff anymore. I was going to say Circuit City, that's not even a little bit true.
Any of those hardware, Home Depot.
Home Depot. So they bring it boxed up, so they can usually figure that out with the door off, and then they install it. The water lines, say you have an hour and a half minimum job, which is 90 minutes at the most, if you have to do a stainless that has ice, water hookups, anything else, you might spend an hour and a half taking the door on and off.
Oh yeah.
Been there and done that, and it's been stressful. So can't say anything good about stainless steel fridges.
Yeah, and with refrigerators too, you always need to measure them, and a lot of the times the handles on the doors just pop off. And if you have like a super fancy fridge with like 2 layers of like space to put things, you see ridiculous stuff like that, and sometimes the handles won't come off. But most refrigerators, you can pop the handles off real easy with a small Allen and a screwdriver to get the tabs out, and it decreases the size of the fridge dramatically. And you can kind of get an idea if you're going to need to take the doors off if you just measure the fridge, measure it without the handles, measure it without the doors, and then measure your door. And if you're calling to help, they're calling for help, I guess, you can give the people you're calling a heads up. And it might save you $100, like you said, like an hour's worth of labor.
Easily. You can also try the wing scenario. There's no terminology that we use for it, but where you open up both the freezer side and the refrigerator side and do that hook around and snake it out a door well sometimes. Sometimes that works, but more often than not, you're in for a headache.
Yeah, especially with those ones that it has the 2 doors and then the pull-out freezer on the bottom. Yeah, you can't really hook that through.
Have not had to deal with the smartphone fridge. I'm waiting for one of those.
Oh, yeah.
With the tablet on that says like, oh, we're out of broccoli.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had to move one, but I've seen them in places. There's
Absolutely.
been a couple new places that I've seen the smartphone. But they have those crazy, the 2 French doors they open, but then they have a door inside of each of the doors that opens.
Yes.
I've had to deal with a couple of those.
Fridgeception.
Yeah. Luckily, it's the ones I've had to deal with, the doors just kind of pop off, kind of like a normal fridge, and then you just have to be careful not to let the extra second door open up on you.
Very true.
But
washer dryers, I guess. Pretty good start.
yeah, we'll do some not kitchen appliances, but just appliances in general. The old Whiskey Delta.
We don't mess with those as far as disconnecting, quote unquote,
Yeah.
because this was a job that I think Eric and I were on. It was a brand new house in the Alt Severance area. I'm gonna guess it was like anywhere from $600,000 to $800,000 house. Brand new wood floors, brand new appliances. They wanted us to refinish, getting all the stuff out to do another brand new wood floor for some reason. Maybe they didn't like the color. Money's no object.
Who knows?
Who knows? But there was a small leak in the dishwasher that was 100% our fault. These guys were on leisure traveling for like 2 or 3 months, who knows where. That small leak ended up costing, I think, $10,000 to $12,000.
That sounds about right.
4 damages.
Yeah.
Not a good time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought it was always my fault because we installed a fridge one time and the guy had to buy like a coupler. And I guess the coupler leaked a little bit because it wasn't sealed properly, and we're not plumbers.
Very true.
And that caused a bunch of floor damage, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, somehow it's our fault.
Yeah, it's always our fault. Yeah, that's true. With those old refrigerators too, with their old plastic hoses, and you pull the fridge out a little bit and the plastic is so just corroded it snaps.
Absolutely.
And then you can't find the water shut-off valve. By the way, if you're a homeowner, know where your damn water shut-off valve is.
Take 10 seconds to get to know your house.
Yeah, come on.
We know your house better than you know your house.
That's true.
The washer-dryer thing, we had a dryer situation, which I would say happens 7 times out of 10, where the prongs don't match up. That's another thing that someone could preemptively do to save themselves some trouble. It's not on us because we're not going to worry about it, but if you say, take a look at the new home you're buying, see if it has a 4 or 3 prong dryer hookup. And that way you're not without a dryer for a week or 2 weeks or however it takes for Mr. Appliance to change out your cable or gauge or whatever else. Some people can do that. Our guy Gordon today could probably do that pretty well on his own.
It's a really simple thing to do. There's usually instructions on the back of your dryer that tells you how to take the panel off and it tells you how to replace the plug and all that stuff. But it is just something to watch out for.
I feel like that's technology changing, but somewhere along the way, just like a USB-C, they need to get that shit together.
Yeah, make it a universal. Well, all the new houses have the 4 prongs.
All the new ones?
Yeah. I think the 3 prong is the old way. I don't know.
What's it, 30 watt or 50 watt? I can't even remember.
240 volts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was never an electrician, that's for sure.
No, I was never an electrician either. My family comes from plumbers.
Yeah, right. Oh, keep an eye out for those crimping wires too. I bought a nice set just because I needed something a little more hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they're here somewhere, maybe not.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out, yeah. Stay frosty on it if you could.
I guess something else I wanted to bring up, we use the term schmeg a lot. And schmeg, it depends on your company. Everybody calls it something different, but schmeg to us, it's just kind of loose crap.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's stuff that should be packed in a box. It's stuff that's just lying around. Put all your shit in boxes, because the more schmeg you have, the longer it's going to take, and the more frustrated I'm going to get, and the more I'm going to charge you for shit. But if everything's nice and in boxes, don't have to worry about it. We actually have a thing called a schmeg box, which is just a big-ass cardboard box that we just throw crap into because people are too lazy to do it themselves.
Yeah, we throw your crap and stuff because they can't throw their own crap and stuff.
Yeah. Put your damn shit in box. Pack lamps, damn it.
Right. Objectively, some things that are weird, say your kid's Barbie Jeep type thing, I get it, you know.
I mean, that's a big thing too. Like that's not a water cooler.
Exactly.
Like a lampshade. It's like you don't need 9 loose lampshades. Open up a box, stick them in.
Yeah, help us help you, I guess, is the real thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're worried about how long it's going to take or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, we had Nate and it's 3 o'clock. We're worried about how long it's going to take too.
Yeah.
Stay cool under pressure, I guess, too. A lot of people freak out because the move, you know, it's, what is it, the 3rd or 2nd most stressful thing people do, according to psychology. Divorce, death, moving. Which, of course, it's all of it.
I know, I was about to say, I move a lot of people who got divorced, and I've moved a lot of people who died.
Absolutely.
It happens pretty frequently.
Death and taxes, right?
Yeah, it's true. And moving, I guess, too.
Mm-hmm. Universal beds, I guess, is great. The gravity beds, the slots just fit right in.
Oh, yeah.
We can take a headboard, footboard, and the rails apart in 30 seconds. You get the IKEA stuff with the bolts that need the crescent moon to get into and hand tightening. Great example was yesterday. George and I got boned pretty hard because we needed a 10 millimeter socket. Checked our wrench bag, had everything but that exact 10 millimeter socket. It was close to 3/8, but it wasn't enough, and we didn't have 3/8 anyway. So we had to wait. Luckily, it was in town, not crazy far away, but if we were in anywhere else outside of town, that would have been a huge problem.
Oh, yeah.
So if you keep that little tiny baby wrench from IKEA handy, that helps a ton.
Like, I have, it's not IKEA brand, but it's like an IKEA desk, and I have all the Allen wrenches I could ever need, and I still tape that tiny wrench to the underside of my desk.
Good man.
Because you need it. You will need it.
You got to have it.
Yeah. Sometimes they come with little wrenches. Sometimes they come with Allens. Whatever it comes with, keep that stuff.
Right.
You're going to need it if you ever plan on leaving wherever you're at.
Max has gone as far as to get his own set of crescents. No, not crescents, just the Allens and the stars. So he has those on hand because when you need that exact size and don't have it, and something's already stripped out and beat to shit, it's going to leave you in the trenches for a while.
I've got my own Allen set in my little backpack there.
Did you ever get another small, like, Leatherman? Like that one you got in Nice City?
No, I didn't. Never
Okay.
did. I do want one.
Yeah.
Those come in handy. Damn airport, taking my Leatherman.
I could throw an IKEA wrench on a keychain or something just to have, but you should have it.
Yeah, I guess with beds too, like you said, the gravity beds just have the hooks that go in. Mm-hmm. Know about your bed frame, man. What personal opinion, probably a lot of people don't agree with me, but bed frames are the most worthless piece of furniture anybody owns.
Yeah.
Like if you have the metal frame that you could just kind of clip together and pull apart and set your mattress on, box spring a mattress on top, that makes sense to me because, if you're old, you don't want to be bending down and up trying to get out of bed and it raises your bed a little bit and maybe you could tuck a tote under it or something. But to have a gigantic 4-foot tall wood sleigh bed that's like curls back an extra 2 feet on either side, and then we go into your house and set it all up, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect it to be this big. It's like, what? You have a king-size bed that's like 6.5 feet long, and then an extra 4 feet of bed frame going either side. Mm-hmm. Think about your space. I was kind of just complaining about bed frames, but...
No, I would fully agree with that, yeah. Which could also lead into the 300-pound latex mattress.
Oh, yeah.
But they're comfortable, and it is a buy once, cry once. They're expensive. You don't want to buy another one until you need to buy another one. But getting that up a switchback when it's 100 degrees out is just not conducive to anyone's well-being. We don't have those diaper bags anymore, though. Those were a pretty neat mover trick that most people haven't seen.
Yeah, we have our forearm straps that we use. But yeah, the diaper bag, super useful. We had it for a little bit, and then one of them broke, and then we got another one, and it disappeared, and that was just a shame. Let's stick to bed talk. We can talk about
pillow talk.
Yeah, we're doing the pillow talk section here. I do want to get one of those super nice, expensive, like foam pillows that everybody talks about, that you see commercials for and stuff. I hear they're real good, but that's not what we're talking about here.
No. I'll have to crack a beer if we're going into pillow talk. So
yeah, no, you want to snag me one too?
Yeah, let me get some sweet nothing juice.
I'll bitch about something in the meantime here. Let's see. Oh yeah, sleep number beds. I'm sure Rao has something to say about sleep number beds. But sleep number beds are glorified air mattresses. If you didn't know what they were, they're literally a bladder, like an inflatable mattress bladder inside some foam. And the king beds, usually each side has its own inflatable mattress. That's how you get the sleep number, where you and your partner can have a different number and sleep on varying firmness and all that stuff. And I'm sure they're super nice to sleep on. I never have. But they're way simpler than sleep number leads you to believe. They want you to call out like a mechanic or something, one of their people, to take it apart and put it together. But we do them all the time. And they're very, very simple. Once you start adding like the mechanical base and stuff, that's when it starts to get a little complicated. We see a lot of goofy things like mechanical bases that split horizontally instead of vertically. And what's the sleep number? There's a certain model that has like a plastic cover going all the way around the outside of the mattress, and then has hoses strung up inside of them.
Yeah, with the built-in foot bar as well.
Yep.
Which is removable, not too hard to do. But I still think that's just sleep number. The 4-paneled corner-to-corner ones in the top, and then the light plastic sides.
Oh yeah, yep. I've taken apart a lot of those at this point. It's definitely something I shouldn't know how to do, but I do.
Well, if someone puts a gun to your head, it says, "Quick, assemble this or you're dead."
Done.
All right.
Yeah, got it.
Done.
Don't need any instructions or anything.
Mm-hmm. Those bed skirts are kind of pain in the butt, though. They really are.
Oh yeah. You got anything else for the pillow talk section?
Oh yeah, put your vibrators away if we're coming.
Oh, that's a pretty good one too. Yeah.
They're usually there.
Yeah.
Not usually, but I would think someone's going to move my bed. I should probably get the vibrator, the squirt cans, the RC colas, the moon pies. Just your general stuff.
Yeah,
they're out of there.
Yeah. I don't care that you like popcorn and that you use those kind of condoms. Just clean under your bed before your movers get there. Come on. Mm-hmm. That's another thing with the bed frame. If you didn't have the bed frame, it would be on the ground, and you wouldn't have all this garbage underneath it.
Oh, I do love having that room though. That's where my Crocs disappear.
Yeah. Like I said, I understand having your bed lifted. That makes sense to me, but bed frames are just fucking worthless. Headboards, footboards, side rails. Why?
You bought a nice chair not too long ago.
I did.
Did you do the mattress upgrade? You were looking on Amazon, I remember.
I got a mattress a few years ago.
Gotcha.
It was a new one. Yeah, it was one of those foam ones that came in the box and it like expanded out and all that. I still have my old box spring, which is probably a decade old at this point. But
spring's poking out or no?
It's doing okay. It's a little scratched up from the kitty cat.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but
They do that.
I was like, she doesn't scratch the couch. She can scratch my box spring.
Mm-hmm.
It's a deal.
I'd say that covers the bed stuff. I mean, any particle board, headboard is bigger than it needs to be. 4-corner beds with the posts where you can put a canopy on top. Luckily, most of those have the aesthetic top cone pieces that can twist off as well as it can be broken down.
The finials, right?
Yes.
Me and Jake were talking about that on the long haul.
Some of the old antiques didn't have that necessarily, but they probably didn't have these tight switchbacks. I think, we're used to old town basements, so that's not saying much, but sometimes the ones that don't have the canopy tops that can remove is not going to fit no matter what you do, unless you take a foot off of your wall somehow. So it's better to have stuff that can be disassembled and reassembled like that.
Yeah. Just to bring up something else to talk about. Watched some regular TV in the hotel the other day, and there was a commercial for Maytag, big appliance company, and they were having like humans represent the appliances. So it was like a dude who was washing dishes like under the counter as the dishwasher, and one of them was a guy strapped to the back of another guy who is probably a washer or dryer or whatever, and he's carrying it up the stairs on his back, and he's walking up the stairs to a 180-degree switchback. And I looked at that and I said, if that guy had a washer on his back, he would not make it around that corner.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he was too big for that.
Our dolly wheels won't even fit with a turn. We have to hand carry that.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's amazing how many 180-degree switchbacks there are. And how much people don't think about what needs to go around them.
I would say it's a geographical issue because Colorado has a hard-on. I think it's just a space and efficiency thing. We run into this with D.R. Horton Homes and a lot of stuff. They're putting up this garbage so fast that it's not going to last in 20 years, but the demand's there.
Yeah.
And that's where the real home sellers get their money, is the new builds. Even like a 10-year-old house. With the equity here, they might be saying it's a wash, but the new homes and the property that they're all building, which keeps us busy and tired,
yeah.
It says a lot about how they're just trying to cheapskate all the buyers, potential buyers.
Oh, yeah.
We see cracks and messed up fault lines and stuff in brand new builds. So the switchback, I'm sure, saves a little bit of square footage by whoever created it, but
oh yeah,
it's not beneficial to anybody but the architect, I feel like.
The architect and the real estate agent.
Yeah.
We moved, the lady we moved for the long haul, she used to be an entomologist. So insects. That's studying insects, right? Entomologist, that sounds right. But she has like a...
It's correct, yeah. Shout out to Professor Crenshaw.
A terrarium, and she had all that cool stuff. And she quit to do real estate because she made so much more money selling houses.
Than studying bugs?
Yeah, than like doing research for humanity and stuff. Sad. So sad.
Professor Crenshaw was a badass, by the way. He was a true bug lover, and he caught Oklahoma brown spiders in his free time in southwest Colorado. But he would show up with a scorpion belt buckle.
Nice.
He was about the bugs, but he went on all these crazy trips, like South America. That was his job and his profession. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it was lucrative for him, so it could have been a different field that she's in. But I would absolutely be like, you want to go study bugs in Peru? It's like, yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll go check it out.
Sure. Ayahuasca and bugs, I'm in. But the market here is absolutely no cap crazy, and COVID times didn't really slow that down whatsoever. I think if anything, people were like, man, I hate this house. I can either do a Home Depot project or I'll just sell it and figure something else out. So
yeah, they're stuck at home and they're like, well, I'm stuck around all this stuff that I don't like being around. Time to sell it and go to a new place.
Call the boys, get 3 cars.
I mean, it keeps us busy. We're bottom of the food chain on a lot of things, but at least we have money to survive on. We can chill out and drink beer after work and stuff. So
I have Tuckies in the fridge that runs. So no complaints there.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say the moving aspect too. This happened with a new guy today. It was actually pretty damn all right. didn't bitch or do anything. Which what we get off today at like 7:45.
Yeah, it's probably around that. Maybe a little earlier. Yeah,
Around then,
that's
so.
about right.
New guy, fresh meat. You know, it's tough to stick it out in the sun and do these giant long days like we do with a gas station stop as our food in between the next 11 to 12 hours. But he had a couple times, even though he was listening well. You know, first rule is don't be a hero if you're day one and a rookie.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when you do a thing, this is a thing that Krezi used to say, do the G-lean.
Yeah.
When you're carrying a dresser, a nightstand, these type of things, to not look like a fool and have all the stuff that's got crap in it because no one takes it out, all the stuff from nightstands or dressers to come flying out, bang into walls, bang into surface areas. You keep a little G-lean. It's maybe a 15-degree camp.
Oh yeah, just to the back.
It's a little bit to the back.
Yeah, all your drawers won't fall out.
So keeping that G-lean helps a good bit with any sort of not even stairwells, just anything. Turns,
Just walking straight.
Walking straight.
Yeah, just keep that little bit of an angle.
Mm-hmm. And maybe 40 years from now, we'll have like traps like this. You know, like one trap's way up here.
Well, luckily we go both directions.
Yeah,
so we're just going to be shoulders hunched. I guess that's another good point too. Is we tell people, well, our office tells people to leave stuff in dresser drawers and armoires and stuff like that, as long as it's not fragile or like breakable or going to cause us any trouble. You can typically leave stuff in the drawers and we can carry it without too much trouble. The problem is those IKEA pieces and those old, crusty, 150-year-old wooden pieces that people just pack full of things, like towels and blankets and everything you can imagine, and then expect us to be able to move these exceptionally fragile pieces that are stuffed with more weight than the piece weighs. And, we tell people that's okay to do it, and then we break it. And it's just a shame. Especially when the IKEA pieces aren't put together properly and we still try it anyway. And you might be like, oh, you can take the drawers out, but that goes back into the schmeg thing. Where it's now we just have a bunch of fucking loose drawers floating around. How the hell are we going to completely fill a 26-foot truck with a bunch of loose drawers? But yeah.
Captain's beds, drawers are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Take up a ton of space.
Think about your piece. Is it going to be okay if you pack it full of shit and we have to make it around a 180-degree switchback and we have to lean it completely sideways to make it? Is it going to survive if it's packed with, 45 pounds of quilts?
Yeah. Well, the retro style of dresser, too, which is very indicative of the era, but it was,
the 70s legs?
The modern, yeah. At the time, it was modern, back when rugs were pea green and you name it. But those legs they look like grasshopper legs. They're about this big. They're teeny tiny, and they put all this weight on the top. When we need to stack efficiently, which is what we have to do most of the time, we have to put your book boxes, your oversized Costco yellow and black crates full of weights, or you name it, on top of that dresser. And it doesn't bode well for the dresser's longevity or ours. Because those legs are this big, and we're putting hundreds and hundreds of pounds on top of it, let alone the 100 pounds we already put in it. So
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I like that look. I like the skinny leg look that kind of comes out to the side. Mm-hmm. It does look nice, but when you walk up to the piece and you touch it with one hand and you shake your hand back slightly, and the whole thing just wobbles on these legs, it's like, all right, well, here we go.
Also, the bookshelves with the loose backs, 9 times out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
I can't promise that that's going to make it okay because it costs you $30 and you shouldn't be worried about it because they're built in-house. You get
typically,
them, you get them in a box that's this big, and then you build it there, and it's not meant to be moved. It's kind of a one and done type of thing. But
yeah,
what is it, J boy?
Oh, there's someone out in the field there.
Is it geese?
There's a person walking around.
There's a person.
Yeah.
Bring him up.
Oh, Jackson. Well, now we got great sound of Jackson here.
He's scaring off the vagrants. We get a lot of vagrants back here, that's for sure.
Yeah, we do. It's not the nicest place.
Great view.
I guess with what you were saying too, the whole backs of bookshelves. A lot of things, or one of the things that people don't realize is the cardboard back to an IKEA piece is integral for its
Structural stability.
like structural integrity. Is using integral twice. Integral integrity, whatever.
Integrity.
But, yeah, it is required to be put on properly for that piece to stand up. And a lot of the times, nails are just entered sideways or not connected at all.
I'm trying to think of an item recently that I've had that wouldn't fit through the drawer well. A lot of people need to like see it to believe it, but we can most of the time eyeball it and go, that's not going to work. Not happening, but we'll try it to make you happy.
Yeah.
Good to have a plan B regardless, though. But
Yeah.
A lot of those bookshelves, they need that back, or else.
Yeah, or else it won't be a bookshelf for too much longer. We do have this is one of those lack of foresight things. We did a shuffle, me and Thor, a while back, where we moved probably one of the most gnarly couches I've ever moved. Thor says it's the worst couch he's ever moved, but it's an Ethan Allen, which has horrible, horrible furniture. I don't know who designs that shit. Probably not Ethan Allen anymore, but it's just bonkers how heavy and ugly and worthless that shit is. But this couch, it's a recliner, but it's all 100% one piece. Like, the back is completely flat and, like, connected to the bottom. And it makes no sense why they build it like this, but these people love this couch. They said that when the original delivery people brought it in, they fucked up all the walls, which no doubt in my mind that happened because that couch is insanely heavy and doesn't fit through their like 45-degree angle turns in their house that makes it to the living room. So me and Thor had to move this thing, and we had to prop it up on its side and like stuff a pad under its arm so it stood up straight because it was so heavy, and then slide it across the floor all the way out. And these people were just amazed. And we're going to have to go back, and it's going to be terrible. And I'm not excited for that. That's some of this furniture that we see. It's just insane. It makes no sense. All those desks we moved today were pretty easy. None of them were too complicated.
Not too bad. That sleeper was probably from the 60s or 70s.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the biggest pain in the ass.
I think that was, I mentioned this earlier, but I think that's the same couch the Jeffersons had.
Oh, yeah.
That tweed,
So,
like, you big dummy.
I'm going to have to find a picture to confirm there. Yeah, it was a little narrow, but yeah, that new guy, that shit was so funny. I pulled out one of those desks, and I was like, at least all these are light. And he's like, these are all light? I was like, yeah, man. You don't understand. You get those office desks that, I don't know who makes them, but all those office...
Yeah, not Ethan Allen.
No, definitely not Ethan Allen. It's the popular color is like the dark red cherry kind of.
That's a good color.
Those desks are ridiculous. Why did they make them that heavy? And they're not even that sturdy.
It's not so much a Colorado issue, but the Texans have an affinity for just heavy shit. And I'm not talking like Italian marble or like old world kind of a style thing. They just think like the heavier it is, the pricier it should be.
Yeah.
And that's not even like equating into like, red cherry or Brazilian rosewood type thing. It's like, it's heavier, so it must be more expensive.
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense. Particle board is super heavy for no good reason. So.
Yeah. Garrett used to say, shout out to Garrett for listening. He left some comments. Good man. He used to say in Texas, everybody has kidney bean desks.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see those too much around here, but if you own one of those, what is your problem?
Yeah.
Just get a straight
kick
desk.
You in the kidney beans. You have to hook around, too.
Yeah.
I do like the concept of a kidney bean desk, but you don't need all that.
No.
What does your desk weigh, like 8 pounds?
Oh, yeah.
Easily?
Yeah. Everything I own I can pick up and carry out of my room by myself. That desk, that's one of the advantages of doing this so long is you can like be trying to order a piece of furniture like online or something, and you're like, that's crap, that's crap, that's crap. That one's good, but a little expensive. That's crap. That one's good and the right price. That's crap. You just look through everything. You know exactly what everything is.
There was a small phase too, and I think it was more the Texan folk, like the Austin area, but for a little while, it didn't last super long, but the big rage for like modern style was to put mirrors over everything. So you'd move a dresser completely covered in mirrors. You have to start off as that's the first thing you're loading in the truck. Every side of it can crack or break or, have some sort of stress on it. If it came in the plywood box like it was intended to, cool.
Yeah.
But it don't. So we put a pad on it, and every single side is bad.
Yeah, that's one of those things is people fill their houses over time. And they get their things in cardboard boxes and on pallets and like in pieces. And like you said, if it like their mirrored furniture comes in a box designed to transport that. And then they call us and they want us to move all that stuff in our one truck. And it's like, well, we don't have any of those boxes. And if we did, all your stuff would come nowhere near close to fitting. You have to think about how much shit we shove into these trucks sometimes.
And we're pretty goddamn good at it too.
Yeah.
It's not tooting our horn or anything, but like we could have broken 100 things today.
Oh yeah.
And another company would have, or another crew would have, but it do be that way.
It's like that music stand I put in there.
Yeah, yes.
that music stand wrapped in a pad upright, bungeed to a strap in the middle of the strap on top of a bunch of stuff with a bunch of chairs behind it.
A very delicate, fragile, antique music stand.
Yeah.
Not like the one that your middle school chorus, not the piccolo.
The metal
recorder.
one. Yeah. Nah, it was some kind of dark red cherry or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be cognizant too. And this is more of this could be for a whole nother day, but not treating your movers like human beings, because who does that? But
yeah,
if you start off with coffee, donuts, and a water, and say you guys take your time, do what you need, we'll stay out of your hair, we won't follow you and be 3 inches behind you the whole time.
Yeah,
that'll go a lot better. We will all be a lot less salty. So take care of other human beings, and we will reciprocate the same.
Yeah. I think I've heard before. If you hire a contractor, they're going to do a good job, a bad job, or an okay job. And whether or not you're hovering over their shoulder isn't going to change that.
There you go.
And we do a pretty good job, honestly. And like you said, if you treat us like people too, you might get a couple bucks cut off that bill. You might get an extra handshake. I might make friendly conversation that I don't like doing.
And we'll care a bit more about your very heavy armoire that needs to go up the stairs.
It goes a long way. A cup of coffee and some donuts go a long way.
Mm-hmm. Or if the safe sucks and you profusely apologize, that's also a good start.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing to talk about. What the fuck? Why do people want safes in their basement?
Not because it's cooler, because that would make too much sense. I don't know. I'm assuming that when you really do need your gun up in the master on the second floor, you should probably just beeline sprint in the dark all the way to your basement.
Okay.
Put it in the very corner of a 5,000 square foot home.
Okay.
Do the combo in the dark, maybe have your night vision goggles on or whatever. No, that's in the safe.
So that is in the safe. Yeah, that's expensive.
Just go by feel. Listen to it like an old-timey doctor.
Yeah.
Put up a stethoscope and do it in the dark, and then you're safe. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you make it in. Mm-hmm. It's like if you put your safe in your garage, they're not going to be able to steal your safe.
No.
Who the fuck could steal? I guess we could steal a safe. But that's with literal years of practice. We couldn't open a safe, but we could take one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we also don't want your stuff either. Yeah.
That's a good kicker. That's good. None of us want any of your garbage. Mm-hmm. People are really protective about stuff, and like sometimes people will leave their jewelry chest completely full of jewelry and shit. And it's like, we don't want any of that. We would prefer it if you took it out because it just makes it easier to move. But then people will be like, you stole our $1,000 worth of radio equipment. And we'll be like, did you look in your boxes? They're like, well, no, not all of them. And then they'll call back later, okay, we found it. We're not going to file that police report of you guys stealing stuff because you didn't.
Right. And it says a lot about where we are, it's a generally safe area. This J-boy shoes off the homeless people running around,
Yeah.
but a lot of people have had bad experiences or terrible experiences. It's sometimes when they mention the movers and the moving company, it's like pulling teeth to them because other people do or might be shysty, especially like drop this place in Memphis, it could be a whole different demographic. So it's not to say put your blinders down, but us in general, absolutely not. There's been a lot of times that people have been flabbergasted, like, your pearl earring was under this nightstand, here you go. You hand it to them, they're like, what? So,
Yeah.
Don't care, don't want it. One more thing for us to move or figure out at the end of the day. So
it's like when we packed those old folks they finally like had to go to a home or wherever they were going to spend the rest of their lives. And we were going through all their stuff, and we collected tens of thousands of dollars of just cash out of that house. And we put it in a box, and we gave it to a church.
And who's the real thief? Yeah.
It was like
tax-free church dwelling. Deacons and pastors, yeah.
The only good part about that is they wanted us to collect all the cash in one place. And after a while I said, fuck that. I'm just throwing whatever cash I find in the box that I'm currently packing. So there's probably another like $5,000 just strewn across those boxes in a storage unit that nobody's ever going to look through.
That's fine. It's just paper.
Yeah, it sure is.
And the mice will get to it, so it doesn't matter. They'll chew through it and piss on it and shit on it. And Jeff Goldblum said, life goes on.
Our hero, Jeff Goldblum. We need a good Jeff Goldblum picture in one of these trucks. We got Gordon Ramsay in one of them.
Oh, the Ian Malcolm Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. Well, the picture on the computer at the end of day shit is... It's, what is it? He has like a big sausage. Jeff Goldblum just has like a big ass sausage on a fork looking at it. Yeah.
Oh, this is a side note. He's doing a D&D podcast too.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I think he could do pretty damn well on it.
Oh yeah. He's got that charisma. He's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm. Seems like a wizard type of folk.
Yeah.
Mage, sorcerer.
I could see it.
Didn't mean to throw it off the rails. But
no, that's good. Yeah, we could talk about whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of podcasts, though.
Speaking of podcasts, what we're doing right now.
Yeah, non-furniture related what's over, but do you have a favorite podcast, or are you just kind of having fun with whatever? Because when we got down on, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're good.
When we did the Game of Thrones books for Long Hauls, that was a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Really enjoyed putting in all those hours. And who's the author, or not the author, but the
narrator.
The narrator, the narrator.
I can't think of his name. He did the first several books, and then I think he passed away.
Gotcha.
And then he couldn't do the last couple or something like that. I can't remember his name. He did a great fucking job, though.
To cover that many characters?
Yeah. Every character had a different voice, all that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm glad this podcasts are popular now, because music's great to listen to, but it's really interesting just to listen to people talk about stuff as well.
Or it's like, the PBS woodworking stuff or golf where you can go, oh,
yeah. Yes.
Just nice and quiet background music.
Yeah, I don't want to plug anybody, but I'd say my favorite types of podcasts are when there is a topic, but then people just kind of talk about whatever shit that's going on. Because no matter your demographic or where you're from or what you do or anything like that, there's a whole lot of overlap. And the interesting parts are the parts where we talk about moving and stuff, because that's not something that people know about or think about. And we do it every single day. And then it's also nice just to listen to humans talk to each other about real basic stuff. It's comforting.
Yeah. Well, that's a double-edged sword of people who do or do not move a lot. We finished off one to Southwest Utah recently, and she had used us maybe 7 or 8 times within 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Easily, yeah. With a lot of stuff, but little by little getting rid of more.
Well, like you said, we mentioned it earlier. I'm pretty sure that's because her husband passed away. And that's why we moved her so much, is she had to deal with that, move out of the house, and figure out what to do and figure out how to get rid of stuff.
It's better to have the experience moving, though, or at least have done it a couple of times, because who hasn't?
Yeah.
Some people haven't. If you've been in the same spot for 60 years, I'm damn proud of you. But
it happens.
It happens. But then, so that was the guy who put all the money in weird places. I think he was just an old farm boy. He didn't trust banks. It's probably from the Great Depression era.
Oh, yeah.
That's what my grandpa did. They kept like all of the zip ties and like Wonder Bread bags and weird shit. And you go like, Grandpa, why'd you do this? He's like, well, they didn't have it then. It's like, you never know. You could have rough economic turmoil. You're going to need bread bags and you're going to need twist ties and like you name it. So they didn't trust banks, obviously. So they would tuck their money away in weird places.
I remember my great-grandma used to steal jelly packets from like breakfast places. Because she's like, we can always use a couple jelly packets just in case.
She's so fucking right. I do that with hot sauce packets. It's a little bit easier to find nowadays, but the single serve Cholulas, I have like 3 or 4 different hot sauces in my Camelback. So taking that for like on the trail, gone a couple days, throw that into some dehydrated food that you cook, or just having it for on the job here, where you get a bunk ass taquito, throw a little spice on it. It's a lot better.
Yeah, it makes it a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Well, it's like those people we were packing with all the money. They had a whole bunch of little cards, like cardboard, basically like greeting cards almost. Like you open it up, and there was just a bunch of like slots for coins. And you were supposed to fill it out, and then you would take it to the bank, and they could open up a savings account. But they had dozens of these things just filled with coins in their house, like very specifically, like they didn't trust banks.
Big government coming up.
Yeah, they're coming for you.
They had a right to at the time too.
Yeah.
Our guy today, I think it was like the son or son-in-law. Nice guy who stayed the hell out of the way and moved a couple of boxes in his Ranger, so what else can you ask for?
Oh, yeah.
But we all had our masks on for the ongoing pandemic.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm not going to lie, it's a little intimidating seeing 6 big guys with masks on. It's like you're coming to rob the place. Somehow we got in the tangent of like, yeah, and the bankers are the ones without the masks, and they're the real robbers.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they sure are.
But the coin stuff too, man, this is way off topic, but I had a bunch of uncirculated silver dollars that the flooring guys stole out of my like little tiny piggy bank type of thing, where I kept like, baby teeth, like weird shit, just weird nostalgic shit. But all those uncirculated silver dollars were taken by flooring guys, so I do understand why people have this, you're out to get me, especially like East Coast New York City. People don't talk, or they're not nice or hospitable because they go, what do you want out of me? That's like, what's your end game here? Don't talk to me. I'm standoffish. Because if someone's opening conversation, it's fuck you. What do you want out of me? You're trying to rob me. You're trying to get money. Like, it's these kind of weird things that we don't have in this area.
Yeah, definitely. You understand the Southern hospitality.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean, big cities are big cities anywhere, but we're in a pretty moderately sized city, and it's really pretty safe here. Like, there's not a lot of turmoil or anything, but people are still just like so aggressive and untrusting. And like all these people out in the plains out east, and they have all these pickup trucks, and they're always driving really fast and really loud, and they're the ones who trust us the least.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who want their safes in their basements.
Very true.
They're the ones with the recliner sofas that don't fit into houses.
Yes. A lot of those oil guys are probably really hurting right about now.
Oh, yeah.
They probably had a few great years, like making whatever they made, and we'll see with the EPA regulations and everything else. But I don't know. Hang on to your stuff, I guess, because that's what you should do. Is hang on to everything, and then we'll move it. For richer or for poorer, you're gonna give us a shout, because you can load it up in your own diesel Denali truck, but you're not gonna, because that's hard work.
Yeah, you don't want to scuff that bed on your pickup truck. God forbid you put something in there.
Yeah, they ain't no cowboys.
I could talk shit about people out east all day.
Me and Boot, the guy was cool with us. He's keeping it loose, staying out of the way. He knew it was a lot of work involved, but he had an old 12-valve Cummins, which was nice. Or no, excuse me, it was a Power Stroke. This was a different guy. But had a brand new flatbed on it. Was afraid to touch his chicken coop, and they're all worried about it. That flatbed must have put on like 2 weeks ago. It's not seen a scratch in his life. But he's getting the the property and everything else, and he's like trying to fit into that, like, yeah, I'm country. You get a pair of Ariats and you think you're hot shit. So,
Yeah.
I digress.
Exactly. I don't see a damn ladder sticking 6 feet out the back of your pickup truck. You ain't doing shit. You're wasting everybody's time and resources.
Yeah, and if you live that far out, you probably can't even afford the gas.
Yeah, right?
Minus the pipeline stuff, I guess. But,
Living out in the alt.
Yeah. That's where the Buick LeSabre comes in. It's grandma's ride, but it gets 26 miles a gallon, so by God.
Man, they had one of those at the dealership up the street a few years back. I was eyeballing that thing. I was like, do I want to drive a LeSabre? Nah, better not.
Did you see that T-Rex they just posted over at Specialty Auto?
No.
Yeah, those things are silly, man. I'd like to get behind one for a little while.
Yeah.
I haven't moved anyone who's had one that's been cool. They've all been like 50-year-old wanting to be 18.
Yeah.
The guy we moved to had one. Was very nice to us, but he had like smoked cigarettes in his office and had a bunch of Buttman magazines and shit like that.
Good on him.
Yeah. Married a girl who was like, I don't know, she must have been 23, he's probably 50, but hanging on to that dream,
He knows what he's about.
He knows what he's doing.
You seen those new those Broncos on the road?
Just the sports. I
Yeah.
hadn't seen the actual bigger ones yet, which have a little bit better body styles, but
That's what I keep hearing. I've only seen the sports too, and on that long haul out to Kansas, I saw a whole bunch of them going back and forth. And yeah, I do not think they look very good.
they look very, so the FJ Cruiser, which are actually awesome at off-roading. I love the old FJ40s, man. I've always had a hard-on for those, but the new ones, which came out, this is probably 08, because I'm getting dated at this point with what body styles come out when, unless it's from the 90s, a square body.
Right.
But the FJs are really badass at off-roading, but compared to the FJ40, they look like the garbage, I think. So,
Sure. Yeah.
but they had a concept for the Bronco, which they should have ran with. This was back when the F-250, they had this thing called a Super Chief concept, which was pretty much the bread and butter, super nice platinum version. They didn't release the Super Chief at all, but the concept looked great. And they did the Bronco at the same time. They were always kind of teasing people with, this will be the new Bronco, or at least running up sketches for it. And if they did that fucking body style, there's no way that there wouldn't be more of those than even probably Tacomas or Wranglers here.
I have to look that up. I don't know.
Oh, they're gorgeous, yeah.
Super Chief, you said?
No, Super Chief is for the F-250.
Okay, and
but
then-
for the Bronco, it was around the same time.
Okay.
This was like a 08 concept, I guess. But it looked a lot like the originals, but with a little bit more of a square body to it.
Okay.
The round headlights, which they incorporated in the new ones, but you're right. They look like you're going to get groceries. But
What are those Jeeps? The Trailhawks?
sure.
That's
yeah.
what they remind me of.
Yep.
And I hate those Jeeps.
Right. We can go there. Like the old Cherokee versus the new Cherokee. Like,
Yeah.
It's night and day. If there's not a 4.0 inline 6 in it, it's a whole different ballgame. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember growing up, my brothers went through a lot of Broncos. They'd just buy and run into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother had that, I think it was a 96 Grand Cherokee.
The ZJ,
Yeah,
I had a 96 too. Yeah, fuck
Yeah, he had that thing for a while. And I don't think he has it anymore. He has some old stick shift truck
Gotcha.
nowadays, but some tiny pickup. I would love a small pickup truck.
Yeah, you could pull a Ranger for
Yeah.
sure. Which Tyler mentioned recently. He's like, "Do you think I should maybe like check out a Ranger?" I was like, "Yes and no," because people that have had them have loved them, and I've seen people have longevity with Rangers, and I've seen them just blow the fuck up. So I don't know. That's kind of a double-edged sword.
Would you used to have the F-150?
Yeah, I had F-150.
Yeah.
Before that was the 85 K10, which is probably the best body style ever.
Yeah.
C10s also. I mean, yeah. The original, like, classic bow tie Chevys, there's probably no better look, I don't think. Not debatable either.
No question. All right. Well, we're coming up on 9 o'clock here because we worked all day, and it really sucked. And I got to be back in. Luckily, a little later tomorrow. Rao, you got the day off though, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, I need to borrow your mower, by the way.
My mower?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think mine has gas from last year, and I either need to dump it out and do the full long. I've already checked the spark plugs and everything, but it didn't turn over the other day, and the grass is getting tall because of all this rain we got. So
Yeah. I mowed a couple days ago, and I was like, there's gas in there. I'm just going to put more gas in there. I filled the whole thing up, and it started. It took a little while, but it started.
No shit.
Yeah, you can probably swing by whenever.
Okay.
Trent might pretend like he has something to say, but whatever.
Yeah, I can call Trent too.
And I'll keep an eye. He has tomorrow off as well, so you can probably get a hold of him if you're looking to get it tomorrow. I'll keep an eye out for a mower too, if you need a mower.
Oh, well, we brought one back, but it got donated, and at the time, I didn't think I needed it.
Oh yeah,
I already have a mower. It's like, now it's not turning over, so.
that might be a good outro segment. We get so much fucking crap
It's crap.
from
Yeah.
people, like, so not metaphorically, but like literal, just like dressers and TV stands and mowers and just yard tools, anything you can imagine. People give away to us, or try to at least.
They try, yeah.
We really have to judge how good stuff is, and I mean, most of my room is furnished by stuff I got off the job. My desk, my chair, and my bed are the only things that I bought. But yeah, even back there, we got dressers and stuff. I can't believe how much shit just gets thrown away and quote-unquote donated to a better place and all that stuff. It's insane.
It's a double-edged sword, because, man, I love going to the dump and throwing shit out and destroying it. But I also hate that things are getting dumped and not repurposed. So
Yeah.
going to the dump and throwing away things that could be rebuffed or resanded is kind of it's like, oh, man, I have a great time throwing that shit out and having fun, but, like, yeah.
It's weird that people are in need of things, and we have an excess of things, and we can't give them to the people who need them.
So many things.
Yeah, just so much crap. Just so much stuff and things. Oh, man, it's insane.
You know, I can get sports equipment or stuff that needs a little TLC. I can understand when the new model comes out or this or that, you know, you're going to see skis from the 90s at the thrift store and these things. But, yeah, a lot of stuff does not need to go anywhere but to somebody else who could probably use it. So.
Remember the name of the podcast, Everything Has to Go. All right, I think I'm going to cut it there. That was fun. Thanks for hanging out, Rob.
Yeah, good time, man.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fun. I'm glad we did this. I was expecting to have a lot shorter of an episode and do some fun editing and stuff, but
No, we're drinking beer.
this might just be a full episode here. So, cool. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next week.
All right, bud.